Hi, I'm Bob Stewart. I'm the director of the E.W. Scripps School of Journalism. And because we can't have you come on campus this semester because of all the coronavirus issues, we wanted to share with you some of the information um, in this format that we would have shared with you in person. The main things that I want to talk about in this session have to do with curricular and also extracurricular activities. Now, both of these are extremely important to your success when you graduate and go out into the job market. The first part has to do with curriculum. Unlike high school, in college you're only in classes about 15 hours a week, but those classes are obviously very, very important. The School of Journalism curriculum is designed to be both very flexible and also to prepare you for all the hands-on activities that you're going to be doing as a journalist. But also some of the background that you need, some of the thinking, more seminar-oriented coursework that you need to prepare your mind for being a journalist. The School of Journalism curriculum has to follow broad guidelines set forth by ASJMC, that is our accrediting body. One of the most important guidelines of the accrediting body with respect to curriculum is that the curriculum has to have a very substantial portion of courses that are in the liberal arts category. Here at Ohio University, those are broadly called general requirements. So out of 40 classes that you're going to take to earn a journalism degree, 20 of those will be in the liberal arts. So fully half of the curriculum will be liberal arts. Another 7 courses will be in an area that we call the specialization area, which is very similar to a minor, and I can talk a little bit about the differences between a minor and a specialization, but they both in effect do the same thing. They give you a deeper dive into some knowledge area or skills area, in the case of, let's say, a foreign language, that you want to have as you go out into the work world. Then the last category that I want to talk about are the journalism courses. 13 out of the 40 classes that you will take to earn a journalism degree will be, in fact, journalism courses, so roughly a third of the curriculum. So let's start there. The journalism part of the curriculum is divided into 3 boxes, or 3 buckets, if you will. The first one is the what we call the core requirements. These 5 courses are required of every journalism major in the School of Journalism, regardless of what you want to do with your career. These courses include a survey course that we call Future of Media, which kind of gives you a look at where we think things are going in this very dynamic industry. A second course is the course in the basic news writing course, which also has a video element to it as well. We call it multi-platform reporting and writing. The third course in the curriculum of the core is a media law class. And as I always like to say, that course will keep you out of jail. The next course is an ethics course, which will make it possible to keep looking at yourself in the mirror and knowing that you're doing the right thing on a day in and day out basis. And then the final course in the core is a diversity course that we call gender, race, and class. These 5 courses make up the journalism core of any journalism major in the School of Journalism at Ohio University. Most of those courses are going to be taken in the first couple of years. Probably the gender, race, and class course will come a little bit later in the student's 4-year experience here. The other courses are basically considered freshman and sophomore level courses. The second box of journalism courses that I want to talk about are the track courses. Now, we offer 2 tracks in the School of Journalism, the News and Information track and the Strategic Communication track. If you want to go into PR or advertising with your journalism degree, then that would be the Strategic Communication track. And when we say strategic communication, we really mean creating messages that have a strategic purpose to help communicate on behalf of an organization or a company a certain message. It could be an advertisement, it could be a press release, or some kind of social media campaign for that matter. That track and the News and Information track both have a total of 4 classes each, 3 courses in the track plus a capstone, which is considered part of the track. The capstone course is a senior level course. It also happens to be a university general education requirement, which is why it has to be taken at the senior level. The News and Information track has 3 classes plus a capstone as well. In the news and information track, we give you a choice of 9 different courses to select from for your 3 track courses, and then we give you a choice of 1 or 2 or 3, depending on the semester, 1 or 2 or 3 capstone classes that would reflect what kind of career media type you want to work in, whether it's a magazine or broadcast. The third bucket of journalism courses in the journalism part of the curriculum are the electives. You're going to take a total of 4 electives, 2 that are from the skills list and 2 that are from the issues and topics list. There's also a required internship that everybody must do. Most students are going to do multiple internships. Students quickly realize that the more internships they have, the better their job prospects. And because of the extracurricular activities you have available to you in the first, right out the chute when you arrive, you will be prepared for an internship perhaps earlier than you might otherwise be. The last part of the curriculum I want to talk about is the specialization area. This is a really powerful part of your curriculum. It's 7 courses in one area, or it can be divided into 2 areas, one of which would be 4 courses and the other would be 3 courses. And really more accurately, I should talk about credit hours. 21 semester hours, which usually equals 7 courses, would be if you did it all in one area. 12 credit hours in one area and 9 credit hours in another would generally be 4 courses and 3 courses. A lot of our students like to divide their specialization into 2 areas because it gives them a little more variety. I'll give you a great example. If you wanted to go into, let's say, sports broadcasting, a lot of our students are gravitating toward the sports administration area for 4 courses, that is 12 credit hours, and then for the other 9 credits, they work in a program called electronic media, and they can work on broadcasts for ESPN in that second area of the specialization. So clearly very, very closely related to career goals if you want to go into sports broadcasting. For general news reporting, I often recommend history as a specialization area, or a foreign language. Could be Spanish, could be Swahili for that matter. We have a lot of different languages available at Ohio University to study. I also recommend sociology as a terrific area. If you're in the strategic communication area, a lot of our students in that area gravitate toward marketing or some other aspect in the College of Business. Psychology is also popular, and creative writing could be a very good choice as well if you want to be a copywriter. So there's a lot of opportunities in the specialization area to build up your skill set for your career goals. Now, if you want to specialize in something totally different, it's your choice. You get to decide what to do there. And speaking of choice, I want to talk about how you can switch areas from one track to the other very easily. You could start out in the news and information track and then switch over to the strategic communication track if you decide you wanted to explore that as a career instead. All of the courses that are in our tracks are also available as electives. If you choose the strategic communication track as your track, then you could select from the news and information courses in that track to be your electives for your degree, and vice versa is true as well. So if you started out in one track and then switched to the other, whatever courses you took for the track could flip and become your elective courses. So it makes it very flexible, makes it easy to cross-train, and it also makes it easy to change your mind really right up through the end of your 3rd year. You could switch tracks with probably no negative impact on graduating on time. If you have any questions, you can always email me at stuartr@ohio.edu, and I could send you a link to our check sheet, which might be nice to have to go along with this chat. The second big area that I want to talk about are the extracurricular activities that you have available to you here at Ohio University. Now, I think this is really what distinguishes us from many other programs, is the number and the variety of extracurricular opportunities that you have when you come here. When I first arrived in 1987, which is a long time ago, the main activities that students chose from for extracurricular were working at The Post, which is a student newspaper, independent student newspaper, as a matter of fact. It's actually older than the School of Journalism. So it celebrated its 100th anniversary quite a few years ago, and we're still coming up on our centennial anniversary. So the Post is an important media outlet even to this day. But at one point, it would have been one of the main opportunities. The second one that would have been available back when I arrived was WOUB, which is for all the students wanting to go into broadcast journalism. WOUB has an AM station, an FM station, and a television station, as well as a very robust website. WOUB.org/news is how a lot of content now is consumed by consumers of WOUB content. We also had, when I arrived here, a radio station called ACRN. It used to be a very interesting technology called wire transmission, but now it's all on the internet. So if you're interested in being a DJ or writing about music, working with ACRN or at acrn.org would be a terrific choice. But now in the last 12 years or so, we've had an explosion in student media outlets, including fashion magazines, general lifestyle magazines, both print and online. The main thing about these that is important to know is that the day you arrive on campus, you can start signing up to work at these media outlets. And I think that's an extremely important part of success. Any success story I've been familiar with coming out of our school, and there have been many, many, many such stories, it almost always starts with student media. By getting involved in student media outlets, and on the strategic communication side, there's 1804 Communication, which is a PR firm, PR and advertising company. So there are opportunities for both tracks, students in either track, to get hands-on experience from the get-go. When you do that, when you take advantage of those opportunities, number one, you kind of learn very quickly whether this is what you want to do or not. And if you don't want to do it, you have plenty of time to switch to the other track and try on some of those media opportunities. It's also incredibly important, though, for networking with your upperclassmen. They are going to graduate before you. So when you come in the door as a freshman and you start working at Backdrop Magazine or Thread Magazine or Variant or any of the other media outlets, the Post, WAB, etc., you're going to be connecting with upperclassmen who have been around the block a few times. They've had internships before, so they can be good sources of information and tips on internships. They can also kind of steer you toward very, I would say, very stimulating classes, and maybe steer you away from classes that they don't recommend. They are basically your mentor, and they will be your mentor for the rest of your life and the rest of your career, certainly. Likewise, when you become an upperclassman, you will be a mentor for the students who come in the door behind you. So this student media experience is extraordinarily important. The other thing about the student media experience that's important is it sort of prepares you for an internship, maybe before you would otherwise be ready for an internship. And that makes it much easier to do multiple internships by the time you graduate. We require one internship of everyone, but we do see the benefit of doing more than one internship. Every internship you do, you're basically building a team of people who could either hire you or vouch for you and write you letters of recommendation. And I think a letter of recommendation from someone in the industry counts for a lot when it comes to getting a job. And finally, it's a very small world. Chances are, when you've worked as an intern at one place, they will know a lot of different colleagues that they've worked with at other media outlets who could possibly hire you. And you become part, in a sense, of a network, of a family. And that leads me to the last thing that I want to talk about, and that is the network of Bobcats from the School of Journalism. These Bobcats are serious about helping you. They want you to thrive. Somebody helped them along the way. Chances are it was a Bobcat as well. So they are proud of their affiliation with the school, and they want to see all of our students do well, because they know that 99% of our students work really hard and are going to make them look good when they've recommended a certain student. So you want to earn that praise, you want to earn that vote of confidence. And then when you graduate and you go out into the work world, you'll know that the folks coming behind you have also worked hard and will earn your vote of confidence. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope this has been helpful. I'm sorry we can't meet in person. If you have any questions, though, don't hesitate to email me. We can set up a time to talk by phone. and I'll be happy to spend some time with you answering your questions. Again, my name is Bob Stewart. My email is stewartr@ohio.edu. That's STEWARTR @ohio.edu.